going on, everyone? Active Sin here. I hope you had a great day. We got 4 topics to talk about today, but before all that, you know what time it is. Shameless plug time. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Those of you who have been around a while, make sure to hit that like button, hit that share button. Really helps out the video. So let's get going here with Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced at the Disney event the other day. And surprise, there's going to be Toy Story in the game. And man, the trailer that they showed, you're going to see it in the background of this entire video here, is fantastic. This game looks like it's going to be something very special. I am impressed. But today, the director Tetsuya Nomura explained why the game took so long to come out. He said, "A lot of people have been mentioning and making it sound like, oh, Nomura's taking too much time, and that hurts." Nomura said through a translator, he explained that the decision was made above his head to switch development to Unreal Engine 4 after about a year of development, which caused extensive delays. In addition, certain timing and resource challenges within Square Enix had an effect. So, part of the reason it was delayed, we already knew this, that they switched to Unreal Engine in the middle of development. So, that pushed the game back. That's unavoidable. That was from Square Enix. This guy is notorious for taking a long time to make games. He was part of Final Fantasy 15, he's part of Final Fantasy 7 Remake, and several other games which took a very long time to come out, so he has a reputation of dragging his feet. But he wants to make it very clear that it's not his fault. He also said there was a decision to make changes to an external engine, Unreal Engine 4. Said so he switched over to that. Unfortunately, there was a bit of time that was needed to rewind and start over, so that was a setback there. But it was a decision by the company. It was inevitable. We had a plan of the period that it was going to take us to create the content at the start of the project. We laid it out. After such and such years, we would need to add more personnel resources. He said, and we had submitted to our headquarters and had it approved, but internal personnel is very limited. And there are various different projects that happen within our company. So unfortunately, timing did not work out. We had to make do with the timing that was appropriate for the company. The company makes the decisions, so unfortunately, sometimes it is out of my control. He wants you to be very clear that it is not his fault at all about any of this, and that it's completely 100% Square Enix, because they were putting extra workers on other games. Who knows what those games are, he doesn't really say. He was keen to emphasize that it hasn't been problems with development or any choices made by him or his team that caused Kingdom Hearts 3 to take so long. He says, "I wanted to emphasize that it wasn't a problem on our development teams. It just happened that way. And there were some decisions that the company had to make, and it just did not work out for certain timings that we were hoping to hit. It's kind of out of my hands. I mean, yes, time has passed, but it's out of my hands." So, again, none of this is his fault, according to him. It's all on Square Enix. But that's whatever. The game got a release year. They're hoping to release it in 2018, which is great. I thought it would be 2019, possibly even 2020. So, 2018 is quite a bit sooner, so that's great to see. And from what we saw in this trailer, game looks fantastic. So, look forward to that. So yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3. Next up, Atari's new Ataribox console was revealed today, and you'll see a picture here of it, and it looks really cool. I actually am a big fan of this design. I like the wood grain. It also comes in black and red. You'll see all the pictures here. Let's see what the website says. The new Ataribox is clearly inspired by the classic wood found on the Atari 2600, and the new console features ribbed lines, a raised back, and a front panel that can either be glass or wood. It includes an SD card and HDMI port and USB ports. The USB ports, of course, would be for the controllers, and the HDMI would be your video out, standard stuff. There is no physical media on this device. It is digital only. Seemingly, you will have to download the games onto the SD card. There is no mention of an internal hard drive. It says Atari plans to deliver classic games on the Ataribox alongside current content. It is not clear if that current content involves new games like Roller Coaster Tycoon, which is, as far as I know, the only thing they make right now. But it appears that it is similar to the NES and SNES Classic, providing old Atari games and just on a new small console. Which is, to be fair, I think a lot of us just assume that's what it was going to be. It's going to be an old device, a new device to play Atari's old games. Maybe when they're talking about current content, it could be newer indie games because they're smaller titles. You wouldn't really need heavy hardware for that. So it could be that alongside Atari's old games. Could be pretty cool. No mention of pricing, specs, release date, none of that. They're gonna announce that later. They said, "We know you are hungry for more details on specs, games, pricing, timing. We are not teasing you intentionally. We want to get this right. So we've opted to share things step by step as we bring this to life and listen closely to the Atari community feedback." So it is what it is. This is all we have for now. Looks cool. I'm interested. I never played the Atari growing up, so I'm not like super attached to this thing. That could be an interesting little thing to buy, like the SNES Mini. And if it plays newer games as well, like smaller indie stuff, that could be pretty cool. I think the lack of cartridges kind of sucks though, considering this looks quite a bit bigger than the SNES Mini. But again, at the end of the day, it seems like it's going to be a little streaming box, not really streaming box, but like to play older titles. Could be interesting. Atari stepping back into the console market a little bit, at least for now. Let me know what you think about this thing. Excited for Atari, or do you wish they had made a full-blown PS4 Pro, Xbox One X killer? But let's move on. Next, Splatoon is getting an anime, and it's releasing on August 12th, which is about a month away, on YouTube. It says here, as we gear up for the release of Splatoon 2, and what will surely be one of the flagship titles for the Nintendo Switch, we're also being introduced to other types of merchandise like amiibos, Splatoon t-shirts, and even ink guns. Nintendo on a Japanese publication reported that they will release a Splatoon anime series on their YouTube channel. There's no additional information of of the art style of the anime, or what kind of events it will have, but it's rumored that the style will resemble the Splatoon manga that Koro released back for the first game. This is pretty cool. I like this. They did a good job with that Star Fox anime. I want them to do more stuff like this. So seeing Splatoon get an anime fairly soon after the game's release is smart. I think that's cool. And it's an interesting way to branch out their IP. So that's pretty interesting. Again, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. And last but not least, pretty cool news here. Nintendo themed Air Jordans are being released. Johnny Berry's Freaker Sneaks, who apparently did a custom run of Jordans for the SNES, are back, and they have some new sneakers. They are based off the NES. They have the NES color scheme. You'll see some pictures here. And what's pretty cool though is the Air Jordan symbol is actually an NES cartridge. That's a nice touch, I feel. And the pressable D-pad buttons are actually salvaged from NES controllers. So you'll see the buttons on the back of the shoe here. They're actually from NES controllers. So that's pretty interesting. This is pretty cool. Obviously, extremely limited run. And while this is exciting and cool, this is definitely not for anyone, because the price point for these bad boys, $1,250 for a pair. So this is of course a super specialty item, very limited run. You're most likely never going to see these in the wild. $1,250 for a pair of Jordans, NES themed, collector's item, obviously. So I don't know who's gonna buy this, but I'm sure if they keep it for a few years, it will sell for much more than $1,250. But yeah, there you go. That's all the news for today. I'm gonna head out of here. You guys have a good day. Again, like, share, subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.